Welcome back, everybody, to Cool Times Podcast. We talk all things cool about the cold storage construction industry. To my right, my better half, Miss Jenna Free. I am your host, also Vince Free, and we have a special guest joining us from the automation world. And this is an exciting concept in cold storage,
an overwhelming concept too.
Growing concept.
Yes, growing.
Our boy Alex Reed, sales director of Swisslog. We have Swisslog here. Welcome to the show, Alex.
Woohoo.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, good to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man. We're excited to bring you on the show. Automation is always huge in our industry. We talk to a lot of end users at these conferences, Alex, and a lot of them are trying to use automation to kind of increase safety and efficiencies and all those things. So tell us a little bit about Swisslog, yourself. The floor is yours, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on again. It's a real privilege to be here. Swisslog has been around for this year's our 125th anniversary. I think there's someone with a gun from marketing to my head somewhere that I have to say that. But
you should. That's something to celebrate.
It is something to celebrate. 125 years is a long time. So they started off in the energy distribution industry and then became Swisslog kind of in the 1980s. So a bunch of different industries along the way, but like any company, found their footing with what we do today out of lovely Books, Switzerland.
Wow.
That's kind of the history behind Swisslog. Swisslog, for the people that don't know that are listening to the podcast, we are a designer, manufacturer, and integrator of automated storage and retrieval systems. So whether it's full pallets, whether that's cases, whether that's totes, whether it's the stuff that you're ordering individuals of, so lipsticks, hand sanitizer, any of the things in between, those are the things that we're automating. I won't say we're automating people out of them. We always need people, but we're kind of making sure that the stuff that you want and you need gets to you faster and more efficiently and with a less impact on on the environment and those sorts of things. So that's really what Swisslog does. For the cold chain, we've been doing cold chain for a long time. I think our first full pallet cranes were something like 1969, which seems like insane. Automation's been around that long.
Yeah, it really is.
You're dating this stuff back to the 60s, the early 70s for automation. I can't even recall what these buildings looked like back then. Were they tall buildings or your automation in these 28-foot clear buildings?
No, so both. Some of them were shorter buildings. People needing to figure out these things back in the day. But yeah, some of these were some taller, high bay buildings way back in the 60s and 70s. So obviously technology is a little bit better than it was in the 60s and 70s, more efficient, but still crazy that people were doing it back then.
It really is.
Oh.
So obviously in the 60s, it looks a lot different than it does today. How have you seen it evolve in your time at Swisslog in, let's say, just like the past 5 years?
With the way that computer advances and technology and software advances happen and as quickly as they happen, that's probably the biggest thing. So you can only move a pallet so fast or a case or a tote before things just start flying off of it and going everywhere. But how you pick which pallet should be selected or how it routes itself to where somebody needs to pick it up has gotten so much smarter over the years. And then in the last, I don't know, we'll call it 6 months. I know one of the buzzwords of the industry right now is vibe coding. So essentially
vibe coding. Writing it down.
Vibe coding. Yeah. So essentially you're
like vibe.
Yeah. Like good vibes.
We're having a good vibe. Vibe coding. Yeah. Okay.
Vibe coding.
What is that?
So you're basically telling an AI engine of some sort, be it ChatGPT or whatever, saying, hey, I want the system to do this. Write me code for it to do it. Or write me code for a dashboard to come up that shows me everything that's going on in my warehouse. And it will do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good vibes only.
Good vibes only.
Good vibes only. So it's far from the days of calling somebody up and saying, hey, I need to make a change to my dashboard. And you're like, oh, that's cool. That'll be 6 months. I'll talk to you then before it gets changed. And now it's like, oh, let me do something real quick. And it's what you want it to be.
6 seconds, maybe.
That's
crazy.
Wild.
It's crazy. It's wild. So those are the big changes. Otherwise, I mean, there have been some new players out there coming up with some new technologies, and they're great. As an integrator, we're exploring all the things that are out there. But for the most part, the technology, the tried and true that's out there, I won't say it's totally the same as it was in 1969, but if you looked at two pictures, there's a lot of similarities to
sure.
both of them.
I'm sure. Well, what are some of the biggest misconceptions people might have about automation in cold storage?
So there have been some trials and tribulations with automation in specifically freezer environments. Swisslog has done around 250 systems right now in deep freeze.
Wow.
So we've got a lot of really good experience over the years, but it's not without good cause that people have some consternation, because while automation is purpose built to move things automatically from point A to point B, they weren't always purpose built to work inside of a freezer at minus 20 or minus 30 degrees.
Sure.
So kind of the trials and tribulations were over the years, somebody saying, yes, I can absolutely do this inside of a freezer, and then doing it for the first time and realizing, oh, crap, the boards on this computer are actually frozen now. It doesn't work. Now I have to figure out how to heat this compartment or something along those lines. So
hydraulic lines are frozen. They're not. The machine does stop moving.
Hydraulic lines are frozen. I got to use a different oil. I mean, there's all sorts of things that can just go absolutely sideways inside of we're, again, in my own career over the years. Again, you design these warehouses. They're beautiful. They look great on a drawing, and then you install the thing, and there's a cooling vent that's right above the main panel for the entire system, blowing at minus 50, and so you weren't designing it for that, and now it doesn't work. So there's those things. It's come a long way. There are a lot of purpose-built things for freezers now, and they work really well. But as far as what we've seen and what we've done, we've had to do our learnings too. But there's a lot of great systems out there in freezers these days.
It's awesome.
You said something earlier about, learning about the pallets, and like they can only go so fast before things are flying off of them. Are there any funny stories or experiments of when you guys are setting this up that the company has of, that exact thing happening?
Oh gosh, yeah. So this is early in my career. We were doing testing, had totes full of different clothing, everything, t-shirts, pants. And one of the times, again, you find these things out when you're starting to test. We sped the conveyor up to full speed, and then all of a sudden everything starts to jam, kind of looking around, not really knowing what's happening. It turns out that a tote full of women's underwear and thongs had just blown all the clothes out of it because they're too light. And they had just rained down all over the sorter, all over the conveyor, panties everywhere. Rain and panties. So we're climbing up ladders, like just pulling out, 1,000 out of this whole system to try to get it unjammed.
Women's underwear.
That's awesome.
Yes. So you live and you learn,
You do.
Well, I was going to ask you what your coolest story is in cold storage, but that's got to be it. I know, right? That's just a cool story. That's just a cool story. I don't care who you are. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's good, my guy. That's good.
Those things. Cold storage wise, though, I think as a developed nation, we have gotten really far away from our food to try to figure out how things are actually made, literally how the sausage gets made or those sorts of things. And so to go in some of these warehouses and really see how things are, there are times where you see a facility and you're like, man, this is great. I can continue eating this food now that I've seen how it was made. And then there are times where you go into a place and you think,
not eating that.
Not going to happen anymore.
Not eating that ever again.
That's why I have RFK in office, bro. Trying to clean up this mess. Putting all the red dyes in our food. And you go to Europe, they don't have that in Europe.
No.
Are we allowed to talk about that on this podcast?
It's our podcast.
Yeah.
It's clean.
Let's clean up our food.
Let's clean up the food. Let's clean up the food.
I think we can all get on board.
We can all get on board with that.
Yes.
We need to stop poisoning our people.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm good with that.
With that. So as far as challenges that Jenna just brought up and you spoke about, like when you guys are calling on an operator of a cold storage warehouse, what are some of their pain points? What are some of the conversations you're having with them about their challenges? And you want to speak on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think there are challenges that have existed for a really long time. And then there are some challenges that are probably newer within the last, we'll call it 7 months and change, particularly. So the challenges, again, we're a proud member of GCCA. So we support them. Love the conference. We'll be there in San Antonio here.
We will see you there.
There, brother.
Right, perfect. Yeah. Slight digression. It's my wife's. We'll call it my milestone birthday. Over that time that GCCA. So she's tagging along with me. So
wonderful.
It'll be a great time. She's not so pleased that it's over perhaps a birthday that starts with a 4 and ends with a 0.
Fair. I can relate to that birthday.
Hey, we'll celebrate that.
Oh, absolutely.
We're looking forward to meeting you in person and her. What's your wife's name?
Colette.
Colette?
Colette, yep.
It's amazing.
Love it.
So shout out to Colette. Sorry that you have to come work with me on your birthday, but we'll make it a good time.
We will definitely make it a good time.
We'll
make it a good
time. That's a good birthday. That's gonna be awesome. Tony was cool. The Riverwalk is cool.
It's got some neat places.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, plus the resort looks pretty great. So
yeah, it's not gonna suck.
It won't.
Not gonna suck.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It'll be a good time. Good to connect with
you. Anyways.
Okay.
I digressed. Back to challenges.
To our pain points and challenges.
Back to challenges.
Operator.
For a long time, and it continues. Labor is just tough. We're blessed to be in a nation that has an extremely low unemployment rate. So to find people that really want to drive a forklift or pick cases or do those sorts of things in a -20 freezer when they could go work at a temperature controlled, I don't know, pharmaceutical distribution center. Mm-hmm. Pretty tough to find people these days. So that one's been around for a long time. So that's usually a good, at least, trigger point for a conversation to see, hey, why automate? And then lately, I mean, it's tough. There's never enough space for inventory. These companies are constantly growing. I watched an episode of the podcast with the U.S. cold storage guys on, and yes. Great episode. But they're growing by leaps and bounds. But almost all these operators and these food companies are looking for ways to either onshore product quickly or grow in space because, they want to be able to turn warehouses. And again, the population in the US is growing. Mm-hmm. Our demands are growing. They're different. So to be able to be quick and to have the space available in these big city areas is a huge challenge, just because there's either not enough space to build or there's just not enough cold space. So densifying those warehouses, and then again, like with kind of the macroeconomics of what's happening right now, just importing goods doesn't make as much sense anymore with some of the tariffs that are on food and fish products and those sorts of things. So finding ways to either store more so that they have more or onshore things has been a challenge lately.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. What about when you're working with a client, what are some of their common requests then, considering these challenges? What are some of the things that they're asking for from their first meeting with you guys? Yeah.
So aside from, I joke, I say, make it faster and funnier. That's really what they're asking for their warehouse. So they're wanting to be able to turn their product more and quicker because again, they're making more money that way. And a lot of times if they're a third party logistics provider, they're able to make more revenue by turning the warehouse faster. So can we come up with a system that is able to increase their throughput through their facility? Or right now it's, again, there's such a space issue. It's how can I fit more in this building? I don't want to expand. You guys are in construction. It's kind of crazy how much it is to build a building in some areas these days. Just per square foot, insane. So if they can retrofit, even if it's an ambient warehouse, take an ambient warehouse that they might own for a different reason and convert it to a cold storage warehouse, or even if it's fresh, not frozen, but doing fresh product out of something, they're wanting to explore. Hey, can we do it? How can I fit more in here? Can you help me to not expand my warehouse? Can you fit more in this building than I'm fitting today? And can it turn faster so that we can, at the end of the day, make a little bit more money?
Yeah,
sure. What other emerging technologies are coming from automation right now that you're seeing? I know you mentioned like literally 7 months ago is different. Like the next 5 years from now, like what technology are you going to see?
Yeah. There was a time when people were really looking at the fully automated blackout warehouse. soup to
That
nuts
from like
robotics.
the truck backs in and then you auto pick from the truck,
Everything?
scan
Yeah,
it,
auto
put it
picking from the
away,
trucks, put it away, and
everything.
everything.
That'd be
So
so
there was
cool.
a time when, and it's cool when you go into some of these warehouses. Amazing
Is that a
how some of
thing?
these work.
Is that work?
That's part of the problem. When I talked about purpose built for freezers, that's
Mhm.
where a lot of automation companies got themselves in trouble. So from an emerging technology standpoint, there are a lot of newer companies out there coming up with really cool technologies that are purpose built for one process in the warehouse. So instead of trying to do everything and do it sort of not that great, they're really focusing on doing just one thing extremely well. So you were just talking about trailer unloading automatically.
Mhm.
That was a real challenge because here in the US, not all trailers are sized the same. Their wheel axles may be lower or higher than others. And then you guys have been in a lot of these buildings. The docks aren't exactly always the same and the best in a lot of these places. So to tell a robot forklift to go pick up a pallet out of a trailer and the dock is not consistent and the truck is not consistent and the loads have all fallen over in the truck, pretty challenging to
That would
automate
be a
that process.
challenge. That would be.
But there are a few companies that have just focused on those sorts of things. And then the other piece of it is just pallet storage. There's a lot of technologies out there now, pallet shuttles being the big one, of looking at how to densify in a brownfield. That's been the biggest ask for us is, hey, I've got a 25, 30-year-old building. It's 40 feet tall, maybe, could be 30 feet tall. I can't fit that much in here. Is there something that I can densify the storage? And looking at those sorts of technologies that are purpose built for brownfield temperature controlled warehouses, those are emerging and are kind of on the cutting edge right now.
That's a huge undertake. If you think about an existing building, 40-foot clear, 30-foot clear, and you want to take their current rack system, you basically got to replace the entire rack system in the building.
Yeah.
Densify it into, what used to be a 10-foot aisle is now a 5-foot aisle, right? Like,
Yeah.
really gaining there, like over the course of a large freezer, like, are you gaining that much more space doing that? And does that ROI, does that pencil out?
It doesn't always. And that's, having done this for a long time, people get really excited, especially at conferences and trade shows, to see something cool and new. And they'll think, oh man, I've got to have this. This is absolutely the right thing for us. And then, you go visit and have a good conversation, talk about throughputs, and then kind of ask you ask a dumb question like, hey, so what are you going to do with all the stuff that's in your building right now when I build this automated system? And they're like, I didn't think that far.
Mm-hmm.
I have nowhere to put, I'm at 100% capacity. I have nowhere to put this stuff. So there's kind of a long play to try to figure out, hey, how are we really going to do this, especially in a brownfield? If you have empty space and there's just double deep racks like normal, there's 40, 50% gains in density that you can see with some of these systems out there. But if it's an existing operation, boy, be careful. Doing open heart surgery is it's difficult on a person and it's difficult in a warehouse.
I bet.
That's wild. Yeah. I'm thinking about that logistics. Cause even in our world, when there's an issue inside of a building and we have to add if we have to add an insulated metal panel wall to separate an environment or two or whatever, like, there's so much that goes into that. Rack needs even a little bit of an aisle that needs to come down and move product. That's a big deal because space is limited. Now in our world, I don't know, Alex, if you know, but there's been a lot of, spec buildings for cold storage built. Probably a good number on the market today for rent or sale. But I think they're filling up. They're there, but
There.
Yeah, that'd be a huge undertaking to move all your product and then all your systems that go with it in regards to how you pick and, your computer dashboard and your pick system. Like, dude, that's a lot.
And I wish I could snap my fingers and it would be like this instantaneous installation and it's just turned on. But even then, it's not just hey, I need you to take this rack down. I'm going to put some back up. It's like, hey, you're not going to be able to use this space for the next 8 months.
I was going to ask you how long that would be if you did a 100,000 square foot freezer. Like, what's the lead time on that to get equipment to a job site or after order, and then the install time? Like, what's that timeline look like?
Yeah. So from original, I've got a contract from a good customer, and we're going to do all this in that 100,000 square foot warehouse, you're probably looking realistically between 12 and 18 months, depending on what we're putting in there. And really, there's so much planning that has to go into it. And I, again, haven't done this for a long time. I bristle when someone's like, oh yeah, why wouldn't we should be able to do that in 6 months? It's like, yeah. I don't know, you go out and do some of these jobs in California. I mean, it takes 6 months to just get a hold of somebody at the city that you're building it, just to get a permit. So yeah, I'd say between 12 and 18 months. And really your system's going to be from the last pallet that I say you can ship out of your building. If you're doing a brownfield site, to the first one that you can put back in for testing, you're probably looking at 6 to 8 months, just installation time for that many pallets and getting all the systems working, integration, testing, all that good stuff.
So is that the same if you're doing a new build then?
It's about the same, yeah.
About the same, okay.
And really we're doing that hand in hand coordination with all the different construction disciplines too. So there's that fine dance of, okay, sure, is the sprinkler guy out of our way? Oh, no, he's not.
You play that game.
Oh, we do.
What would you say, are you seeing for Swisslog, are you seeing more of people wanting you on the design process as they're preparing to, break ground for these newer buildings? Or are you seeing more of people wanting to increase the efficiency in their existing buildings?
So I'd say it's a good mix of both. When there's new buildings being built, there's so many nuances to like what we do, floor loading. I mean, like if you're building a high bay freezer warehouse of some sort, the slab, I mean, super important. Knowing the loads on the rack that's going in there, knowing the loads on the cranes. If it's a shuttle system, you have to know all those same things, all the moments. If you have like robotic layer picking, those sorts of things in there, really have to. So all those finite details, we kind of need to be in there up front when these buildings are being designed. And there's a lot of nuance to just even square footage. So depending on what technology you look at and how dense you can make it, you might need to build 50,000 square feet less with one technology versus another. So to kind of go in there headstrong and say, no, we're going to do it this way. And then you realize it costs you, I don't know, $10 million more to build a bigger building. Then you think, oh, well, you know what? Actually, why don't we think about it again? So, and then on the other side of it, yeah, I'd say we get our fair mix of people who already know what they want.
Yeah.
And people who are really looking for advice and understanding what's out there and what they should be doing.
Yeah. Alex, with that in mind, we all go to market different, right? So some people go to market by calling on a subcontractor, an end user, the GC, go through the architect. So for Swisslog, what's the common go to market? Are you guys just finding the US colds and the lineages and miracles and agiles? Are you calling on them direct and because they're reaching out to you, or are you doing like a greenfield, a brand new project, or are you driving this thing through the GC?
So it's a bit of both. So we have both the end users that come to us. We have our, your big boxes and big suppliers like Cargill, but in Walmart, Target, those guys. Sure. And then at the same time, we do have business that we do through GCs and some of the providers. So your US Cold, your Agile. It's a mix of both. Depends on how it's going to be built and how that company's doing their contract with their end user. So if it's one of these short-term 3PL contracts, it's tough to justify automation a lot of times just because of you don't know what customer might be coming in there next, if their product's totally different.
Right.
But if it's a dedicated warehouse of some sort where you're going to be in there for 10, 15, 20 years, and they're running that building for forever, then we're reaching out to the builders and the end users, and it's vice versa. Swisslog has a great reputation. One of our, I'd say, core tenets is making sure that we have repeat customers. It's not this idea of one and done and yeah, we did it and let's move on to the next one and screw that guy. He stinks. We're not going to work with them again. Just move on to the next customer. Now it's like we kill ourselves to make sure that people are happy at the end of the day.
Well, I guess tell us a little bit about your journey with Swisslog. How long have you been there? How did you find this company? How did you know you wanted to grow your career there?
Yeah. So I've been in the material handling industry for 16 years now. I'm trying to think. Yeah, 16 years. Wow. I started off with forklifts, and then kind of worked my way into automation on the journey after that. So spent some time with some of our competition, and then I've been with Swisslog since March 2024. So a year and a half almost at this point.
Sure.
Awesome. And
so, but yeah, you see a lot of fun things in a lot of different places, learn a lot. But yeah, that's my journey to this point, at least.
That's awesome. And you came in at a good time. Swisslog is celebrating their 125th anniversary, which is super exciting. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about what you've seen the company, and then I guess their culture standpoint around this milestone.
Yeah, there are not a lot of companies that last. I think there's just statistics out there. I'm not going to try to pretend to name them, but it's hard for a company to even last like 5 years.
You are correct.
So to make it 125 is a real accomplishment, and it is really about the company culture. So here in the U.S. and globally, it's a culture of mutual respect. I am able to do my own job. People know they hired me here at Swisslog because I'm good at what I do. They trust me to go out and do my job well and to take care of customers because I own it. And it is a culture of ownership. So knowing what it is you're supposed to do is huge. If you don't know what your job is, then that's a big problem, or what the expectation of you is. It should be clear, and you should be able to go out and execute with excellence and with just a drive, because it's what the right thing to do is to own what you do and go out and do your best every day. But that's the culture here at Swisslog, and we're enabled to go out and do that. They've hired a great leadership team here in the US, here in Atlanta. My desk sits, we'll call it on leadership row. So if I'm not doing very well, then there's a few stop bys at my desk that maybe I'm unpleasant.
You're not going to hide from that.
Extra highly motivated to do my job well.
That's awesome.
That is. What is something? So obviously the celebration, but just generally, what is something that you are personally excited about that Swisslog is doing?
Ooh. So we are doing a lot with our software. So software is what puts everything together.
Yeah.
The systems themselves, marketing will hate this. The systems themselves are great. The products we do, and it's Swiss engineered, highly technically sufficient for what we have to do. Mm-hmm. But I've had times in my career where we've installed something gorgeous and it just doesn't work because the software isn't quite right.
Okay.
So, and that's not at Swisslog. I will not. There's no issue there. But throughout my career, you see things, and there is nothing more important than a software that works and an integration strategy with the customer's systems. That's the most important part. So what we're doing with our software, we have just one software platform globally. Every team globally works on it. There are changes that are put into, we're completely redoing our library system that has basically everything we've done. And there are things that, say the Malaysian team is doing in Kuala Lumpur that we'll look at and go, I didn't even know we could do that. That's great. All right, let's do that over here. It's awesome. All right, that's already coded. Great. Let's go ahead and do that here and not charge any extra or whatever for any software change orders, those sorts of things. So what we do with our software, again, with it being one platform, our global software head is here in Atlanta. And so it's a good thing. We're doing a lot of machine learning, and again, that whole vibe coding thing we're trying to get into and all that stuff.
I love it.
Very cool. Is there a big difference between if you do automation in like a dry warehouse versus a -10?
Yeah.
What are they?
Oh man. Yeah. The technology you can select is limited. I won't say limited, but what we know to work really well. There are some things that we just say, hey, yeah, we could explore it, but it hasn't been tested at -20 yet. We'd want to do some testing before we roll that out to you.
Got you.
And the portfolio of what you can do inside an ambient warehouse, everything under the sun, every knickknack, new technology you see at every trade show, boy, they can work great in an ambient warehouse. But it's one where you just got to be a little bit more tentative and careful with what you select to work at -20, because A, it needs to work. Mm-hmm. And B, if it breaks, it's really cold in there to go fix something. I mean, like,
we do know exactly what you're talking about.
I feel you.
Again, this is early in my career. I was in a freezer for ice cream, and
-20.
yeah. So
Awesome.
there's certain sections of it was -30. It was just so cold in there. I had a jacket on, thankfully, but I knew I had been in there too long, and it really wasn't that long. I'd probably only been there half an hour. My tape measure that I was measuring things with snapped because it froze.
It happens.
And then ultimate rookie
I'm
move.
laughing.
When you're like,
move, I brought
rewinding it back up and just
snapped right off.
Yep.
Keep going.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
great.
Snapped right
Is
off.
that,
And then,
Alex, is that a part of your cool stories, man? I mean, you've been in cold. Like, dude, share a really cool story of this. Funny.
Well, I mean,
Annie funny or that?
yeah.
Anything you want.
Well, I mean, so the other rookie move in that particular warehouse was I brought a pen in and not a pencil. And that, again, the pen froze
Immediately.
Immediately. So it's like, well, all right. Next time, maybe bring a laser and maybe bring a pencil, not a pen. Let's do those two things.
Hey, you live and you learn.
Learning mode.
These are our lessons
Yes.
we take with us.
Indeed.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, cold chain stories. My wife and I love to travel, and it's not just, for it's always fun to go to new places for pleasure, but for work too, you get to go see new places and go see new things. But seeing these freezer warehouses, both here and in Europe, and just seeing how things get made, it's one of the most fun things in the world. But then other times you go into like a French fry manufacturing plant, and it's like the best smelling place in the entire world. And then also you cannot get that smell off of you for several days.
Yeah.
Several days.
That's
Continue
true.
to just smell it. Like, is it my phone? Is it me? Is it my hair?
Oh yeah. It's in your skin cell.
Part of my soul.
Part of it, man. Yeah. It's like that when I would
Part of my soul.
when you travel to like a small town in the Midwest and it's like it's a chicken kill plant.
Oh yeah.
And
those are the ones I don't like to, again.
And then the town will smell like that.
Yeah.
The whole town. I mean, it's you go inside one of those and you smell it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
yeah, my dad's family is hog farmers in Iowa.
Okay.
So again, that's another one of those.
Yes.
It's another one of those smells that it is the smell of money. It's the smell of money.
It's true.
Bacon.
Smell of money.
Oh yeah. Well, we like our bacon.
We do.
Oh yes, we do.
We do like our bacon.
Okay, I have a fun one for you.
All right.
If you were going to, if Swisslog were going to be a superhero, what superhero would you see Swisslog being?
Oh boy, I'd like us to be Superman.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. It goes together.
Save the day.
Yep.
Rescue people. Make people happy. Represent the red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
Nothing says America like a company called Swisslog.
Your colors are red.
It is. Yeah, we're good to go.
This episode is brought to you by Seneca Holdings, the industry leader in specialty door solutions for cold storage and beyond.
From innovative designs to unmatched reliability, Seneca provides the solutions your facility demands.
Seneca Holdings, opening doors to smarter solutions.
This episode is brought to you by Applied Fabricators, or AFAB as we like to call them.
Need a partner that's rapid, responsive, and reliable? Applied Fabricators delivers top-tier metal solutions with speed and precision, so you can stay on schedule without the stress.
Their expert team tackles the toughest projects, ensuring quality and efficiency every step of the way. So go grab a beer. AFAB has it from here. Alex, is there like an untapped opportunity in automation right now that's in cold storage that maybe you guys aren't really attacking the way you should be or you want to be? Is there anything like that out there?
For what we talked about, that Brownfield piece, and automating inside an existing warehouse.
Yeah.
There are some really cool things that we're just exploring right now that even in the US are starting to become what we'll call, I wish they were by us. I wish every warehouse was by us, but rising tide lifts all boats. So, those technologies are doing really well. And those are things that we are exploring, to integrate with our own software, which we really like.
Well, I mean, I think all of us have a lot to learn in that brown storage space, because it's very difficult to make changes inside of existing cold storage warehouses.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. And then when you start, it's like renovating your house.
Yeah.
Speak to that, because it's like, okay, I need to do this, but in order to do that, now we need to fix all of that.
The construction snowball.
And then it's construction snowball. And by the time you're done doing all that, you're like, wow, we should have just built a new house. Right?
Yes.
So you look at, right? So you look at these facilities and you're like, by the end of it, you start pulling out racking, and then all of a sudden you realize you have holes in your concrete everywhere.
Well,
right? And then
like you said, where are you putting your product? You got to figure that out first.
You got to move product. You got to buy only racking. What do you do with all your old racking? Can you reuse that racking? Then all of a sudden your doors don't line up to the aisles you need. And now you're cutting new door openings and installing new door systems. Then you add a conveyor, and then you add all the systems. At the end of the day, is it actually less expensive to build a new building? Because we would love that if y'all did. I usually get one rant every podcast, and there's my rant.
I love it. Yeah. Build new.
Right. I mean, yeah. So challenge in Brownfield. Yes. I see it, and I've felt that. Anyways, is there anything else in regards to cold storage, automation, something we didn't cover that you really want to touch on that you can think of? Because man, it's such a cool system and product. And we do get a lot of end users that listen to this, and we're blessed for that. And also segue to our sponsors. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Without y'all, we don't exist the way we
do.
This
would not be here. Yes.
And if y'all are listening, hitting the subscribe and like button, a 5-star rating helps the algorithm get us up there for reaching new people in cold storage. Easier to find us. So thank you, sponsors and listeners. Back to you. Anything else you want to cover?
Yeah, I think there's a sustainability piece that we probably didn't talk about.
Okay.
But just the looking to automate a facility generally uses less energy than what you'd normally use with a manual warehouse. So both in the square footage of a building, if we're building a 150 foot tall building, it's just going to be less footprint. That's still dirt that is out there. And then same with the actual energy consumption. Normally, these automated systems are going to use significantly less energy than a manual warehouse would. So, in looking at those two factors, I mean, I think that's probably the other big topic of discussion. When you're looking at automation to try to size it, it's like, hey, maybe there's not as good of a business case, but just based off the sustainability and what the company's objectives are, that could be a good reason to take a look at something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I never thought of that. I'm sure there's some LEED certifications involved in some of the stuff you do.
Certainly. Yes. Yeah. LEED Gold, LEED Platinum. We've been in several of those buildings before where, again, it's a harder process, but yeah, for sure.
So are you doing like the automated robots that fly down these aisles, right? And pick stuff. Are you also involved in, this is going to be a really dumb question, but are you guys also doing the racking too?
So we have lots of great partners, lots of GCCA members like Fraser out there that we work with.
Hey, Fraser.
Yeah, Fraser. Yeah, we love them. We work with them a lot. Do the rack. We don't build our own.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, Fraser's awesome. We had him on a show too. Yeah, he's a man.
Well, they're good at what they do.
They are.
So it's good when we partner with people who are good at what they do.
True that.
Produces really good products.
Absolutely.
Are you going to get to your favorite section?
Oh, yeah. So.
Did you forget about it?
No, I just didn't know if you want to say something. Do you have anything else, Miss Jenna?
I'm quite well today.
And we got to fight at least one time on this. It's more fun that way.
It is more fun that way.
Alex, we're going to get to know you a little bit more. We had a chance to talk offline before this podcast. And you have 2 daughters?
2, yeah.
13 going on 14.
We got 13 going on 14 and one that's 11 that wants to be 13 going on 14.
Yeah, exactly. That's usually how it works.
And you do CrossFit.
Yep, love some CrossFit. Been doing that for about a year and a half. So do one of those. Just got just a couple screws loose. Just
You're maniac.
Yep.
yeah, just
Running
just
with
a
the
few.
weights over your head.
Yeah, shared suffering.
Grew
I
up
think
the one time we did
what
CrossFit.
binds us together.
Yeah, I got hurt.
I have mad respect for people who do CrossFit.
Jenna came home from the gym from CrossFit and her shins are bleeding, doing like wood box jumps.
I know
you
box jumps.
Don't slip on the box jump.
She has scars on her shins from that.
I do.
Both shins. Great.
Oh yeah.
She won't do them anymore. She's like, nope.
I'm out.
Unless it's like a soft black.
Nope. Still won't do those.
Yeah.
I am completely of the box jump.
Yeah, there's rope climbs every once in a while, and the rope just burns you. And
It
so I
does.
just refuse to do them. It's just like, it's not worth it. Pay good money not to be totally injured all the time.
Yeah.
I know.
So mad respect to that.
I know. Well, this is a part of the show where I get to ask you this or that questions, and we get to learn more about you and kind of what you're into, my friend. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. Okay. Pizza or tacos?
Oh, tacos all day.
I know, because they're so good.
Tacos are so good. My girls have asked me if you were stuck on a deserted island and you could eat only one type of food for forever.
Tacos.
Mexican, 100%, all day long, no question.
It's funny because
I never get to think of it.
It's funny because that's what I want tonight now.
Yeah. Oh, I know what we're doing for dinner.
Exactly.
All right, tacos it is.
Done. Beach vacation or a mountain getaway?
Beach, 100%.
Morning
They go with
person?
the tacos.
They do. Yeah, they
They
do.
go with the tacos, and it's when we beach like Ken from the Barbie movie.
Yeah.
What I do is beach, and I can beach wherever I go. Just
I like it.
Chair, cool drink in hand.
Yes.
Girls know the deal.
Required.
We're relaxing. That's what we're doing.
I love it.
I was going to try to do some funny beach joke, but I got nothing.
You got nothing?
Anyways, are you a morning person or a night owl?
Morning person. And of course, I think one must always marry the opposite person. So my wife is definitely more of the nighttime person. It's like, I want to be in bed by 9 and up early in the morning. And she's like, well, I'm just going to watch 1,000 more episodes of this show before I get to bed. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Are you a concert or a sporting game?
Sports. I am a proud graduate of the back-to-back 21-22 national championship winning Georgia Bulldogs. So go Dogs. Much rather go to sports than
Okay. I like it.
Hey man, our Green Bay Packers drafted a couple good Georgia Bulldogs. I ain't mad about that.
We'll take it.
They
Some
produce
good football players out of
We
there.
need it.
We do. Camping or a hotel stay?
Oh, I'm the most spoiled brat in the whole world.
So bougie.
Hotel.
I wish I was into camping. I really do.
I can't do it.
It looks so cool.
It does. Does it
like
not?
REI ads and stuff. It looks so cool.
Right?
I know.
Like, and
But
people who are doing like these camper trips where they're like going like for like a month at a time in the camper. I'm like, that looks so cool.
No
thanks.
So
campers
cool.
are air conditioned and like
yeah.
That's not really camping.
So I will say this, while I'd rather stay in a hotel,
yes,
we did do a 9-day RV trip through Yellowstone and
dude, was it awesome?
It was amazing.
okay.
But that camper gets a little smaller.
There it is.
And a little smaller every day you spend in it.
There it is.
Good to know. Did you drive it?
Oh yeah. And the
How
thing
was
was
that?
a 34-foot land yacht. I mean, this thing was, and driving that thing over mountains was.
See, that's what terrifies me.
It's struggle bust over those mountains.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, great time. Kids loved it.
Good.
Saw 1 bajillion
Good
bison.
memories.
That's
great memories.
That's
Yes.
what's up. All right. Superhero power time. Flight or invisibility?
Flight.
Right.
It'd be cool to see everything.
Darn right it would be. Summer heat or winter chill?
I would rather burn to death than freeze to death. I can't do the cold.
Well, at least you're in cold storage.
Oh man, I've lived here in the South since 1988. My blood is very thin at this point.
Dude, that's epic. Epic.
Anyone's answered that question better.
I
I would
know.
rather burn to death.
Rather better. Dude, are you ping pong or air hockey?
Ping pong.
Mm.
Ping pong. Yeah, I
Cold beer or cold
don't
drink?
song as much as I used to in my life, but
There you go.
we've got one in the office, and there are some trash talkers in there.
Oh,
So
Yeah, we have them
We
too,
have
man.
it too.
We have them
I have
too.
heard the trash talking.
yeah,
Oh
there's
yeah.
some.
We
There's
had a
some
guy
good
come in the
ideas.
office the other day and he's like, "You got a ping pong table, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You want to play?" And the way he asked me, I'm like, "No, not."
no, absolutely not.
You know what I mean? When you come at someone with that kind of confidence, like, dude, I don't want none of that noise. Like,
We have a sales director that brought his own paddle into the office one time. It was like, all right, guy.
Not playing.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
All
good.
right, guy. Like that's a little much.
He's like, "You're
when
serving it
paddling."
wrong. That's not how you serve." It's
Yeah.
I'm like, this is all I can do. Anyways, that was a rant. Cold drink or cold beer?
You know, if we're on the Mexican food topic, I do love me a good well-made margarita.
Ugh.
The jalapeno in there too just
Mm.
crushes it.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I'd have to
I'm
go
gonna
with-
give you a recommendation, and I hope that Tommy's Margarita Mix is listening, so I can get some free
Yes.
stuff. Tommy's Margarita Mix. I'm gonna tag him in this as
You
a
should.
promotion. Okay, so if you want to make the best margarita
At home.
at home, I kid you not, there's a product called Tommy's Margarita Mix, and it's organic.
Mhm.
You
Wow.
got to refrigerate it, so there's
Yep.
no preservatives, additives, none of that. It's strict,
Super clean.
super clean. It's just lime juice and agave, organic, and you mix 2% of that with 2% of your favorite tequila,
Magic
and
happen.
that's it.
Wow.
And it's the freshest margarita you're ever going to drink. And they have a regular mix and a jalapeno mix.
Mhm.
Oh, that now you're
They
talking.
Tommy's
do.
margarita mix. I expect some love from this.
You
Yes.
must order it online.
Online.
At least for us who live here in
Yes.
Texas, we cannot find it locally. So I imagine it would be the same for you in Atlanta when we lived in California.
And I mean, if
You'll find it in the store.
again, if Tommy's Margarita Mix is listening, if they ship to the Georgia area,
do.
you know,
They do.
I also love some scent.
Sales director from Swisslog would love some of that Tommy's margarita mix.
Not on company time, of course.
No,
on
it's
company-
not.
No.
Of course not.
No. All right, the last, but my favorite this year's end all question: greatest sing along song of all time, "Don't Stop Believing" or "Friends in Low Places"?
Oh man, Friends in Low Places.
Okay.
Oh man,
Hey.
Friends in Low Places.
Right.
You get some Garth on here in the South. It's people come out of the woodwork.
They sure do.
People who shouldn't be singing it, they're
Yes.
out doing it. They're having a good
That
time.
is true.
It's fine. It's all good.
It's a great song.
We all like to sing it.
We
it's,
do.
It's really at the end of the night, if you're at a bar at like GCCA and that song comes on, you're not going to tell me no one's going to be like, dude, I got on to each other, just swaying, singing.
Yep. A good one.
It's a great one.
It's a good one.
Alex, dude, you're a stud, man. Thank you. This
Thank
has been
you.
awesome.
This was so fun. This is a great one.
Joining
Katie.
us.
I really
Yeah.
appreciate you bringing me on. This was a great time. Yeah, we got to talk about Swisslog some, but really, really cool to be able to chat with you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great
And
thing
we're
to know
looking
you.
forward to see
Yes.
you and Swisslog at GCCA.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
That's a great conference. Another one is Control Environment Building Association, CEBA.
Mhm.
That one's in November. I'm not sure if y'all go to that one, but that has a lot to do with building cold storage warehouses. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
it might be something
Yeah.
that y'all go to. I'm not sure, but in San Antonio,
We'll see you there.
we'll have a margarita.
Let's do it.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
great.
Tell us, for our listeners, if they want to know more about what Swisslog is doing, if they want to see some of the automation videos, things like that, where can they go? Where can they find more information about your company?
Yeah. So www.swisslog.com, SWISSLOG.com. That's our main website. There is, and I'm always surprised. I joke about our marketing team, you know, having a gun to my head about 125 years. They do an amazing job. The
They
website
really do.
has
I was on your
really-
social media earlier today.
Yes.
And I'm like, this is really well done. So
Yes.
kudos to your marketing team.
Yeah.
You're doing a great
Kudos,
job.
Alexa, Megan here in the US.
Yes.
Amazing job.
Great job.
There are excellent resources on the website. There are, and not just for Swisslog products, there are, just general resources about when to automate, what 5 things you should consider before this. You know, there are so many good white papers out there to just educate yourself. And then, of course, references and all those things too, the Swisslog propaganda about how great we are and how good we are at what we do. Those are all there. but just in general, amazing resources. And I will say again, for Megan and Alexa, the being able to go on a Cool Times podcast and setting those things up, and then just the general things that they do for us with socials and those sorts of things, it's amazing. There's a lot of good stuff out there.
It does. They're doing a great job. So check them out.
Yeah, absolutely. And the crazy like analytic thing too, like Jenna and I, we started this podcast 4 years ago. Has it been 4 or 5 years ago?
Went on year 5.
Yeah. In the analytics, man, all of a sudden I'm checking this stuff because I don't check that stuff. We do this for fun and to get, great folks like you out there with cool stories and learn about companies and stuff. And I mean, our industry, as you know, you go to GCCA and 600-800 people show up, 500 people, whatever. SEBA. At the end of the day, it's like, I mean, we're reaching like 3,500 people, and it's awesome. That do cold storage or some type of cold storage, and it's really cool to have you on the show and share your story and just get it out there. And we love meeting new people, and this is just awesome. It's awesome to learn about what you do. It's
fun to see to see all the different parts, how they all go together, how they all work together, how they all impact each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a really neat thing, and it's a fun way to share.
Yeah. Alex, thank you so much for being on the show. It was so awesome to have you, Swisslog, on the show. My wife is fantastic. Thank you for being here. We had a great time.
Thank you for joining. Thanks for sharing with us about what Swisslog is doing and for sharing a little bit about yourself.
And the listeners and the subscribers.
You guys are the best. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Until next time, we're out.
Yeah.